Guys, Mrs. Kang here, ready to go. Grammar 3, Level 3, Chapter 3. So that's what we're working on today. You ready? Here we go. Before we get started, remember what we talked about last time? This little noun floating around names a person, place, or thing. With the knick-knack, paddywhack, these are English rules. Isn't language fun and cool? Hey! Then there's a verb, right? A verb shows action. There's no doubt. It tells us things to do, like sing and shout. Action verbs are fun to do. And now it's time to name a few. So wiggle, jiggle, turn around, raise your arms and stomp the ground. Shake your finger and wink your eye and wave those action verbs goodbye. Goodbye. A sentence. What is it about a sentence? A sentence is complete when 5 simple rules it meets. It has a subject, and a verb. It makes sense with every word. Add a capital letter and an end mark too, and that's what a sentence is supposed to do. Adverb. An adverb modifies a verb, adjective, or another adverb. An adverb asks how, when, where. To find an adverb, go, ask, get. Where do I go to a verb, an adjective, or another adverb? And what do I ask? How, when, where. And what do I get? An adverb. That's what. The adjective jingle. An adjective modifies a noun or a pronoun. An adjective asks what kind, which one, how many. To find an adjective, go, ask, get. Where do I go? To a noun or a pronoun. And what do I ask? What kind, which one, how many. And what do I get? An adjective. That's what. Yes, those are the jingles we need for today. Number 1. The polite young singer sang exceptionally well. Who sang exceptionally well? Remember what I told you last time? When they're people, we say who. When they're not people, we say what. Who sang exceptionally well? Singer. Subject noun. What is being said about singer? Singer sang. Verb. Sang how? Well. Adverb. Now remember our jingle, boys and girls. To find an adverb, go, ask, get. Where do I go? To a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. And what do I ask? How? How well? Exceptionally. Adverb. What kind of singer? Young. Adjective. What kind of singer? Polite. Adjective. The article, adjective. Perfect. Number 2. The extremely loud music stopped abruptly. Question number 1. What stopped abruptly? Music. Subject noun. What is being said about music? Music stopped. Verb. Stopped how? Abruptly. Adverb. What kind of music? Loud. Adjective. Defined. That's the worst adjective marking I've ever seen in my entire life. It's a midget space you've given me to write in, Mrs. Kang. I need my microscope. A, D, J. There we go. Just, we'll try one more time, Mrs. Kang. A, D, J. Okay, thank you. Success. To find an adverb, go, ask, get. Where do I go? To a verb. I can say stopped how? Extremely. To an adverb or another. To a verb, an adjective. I'm going to go here. How loud? Extremely. So the adverb jingle says, to find an adverb, go, ask, get. Where do I go to? A verb, an adjective, or another adverb. And what do I ask? How? How loud? Extremely. Adverb. The article adjective. That was a little tricky, but I'm sure you did well. All right, let's keep going. Ready? Several brown ducks waddled awkwardly away. What waddled awkwardly away? Ducks. Subject noun. Quack. What is being said about ducks? Ducks waddled. Verb. Waddled how? Awkwardly. Adverb. Waddled where? Away. Adverb. What kind of ducks? Brown. Adjective. How many ducks? Several. Adjective. Notice the pattern. They start with the subject, noun, verb, and they added adverbs on the end. There's only so many adverbs, and they use them, reuse them, so students will become comfortable with this pattern. And then notice adjectives before the subject. This is the pattern they want them to get used to. Lesson 2. The old dog howled quite loudly. Who howled quite loudly? Dog. Subject noun. What is being said about the dog? What is being said about dog? Dog howled. Verb. Howled. How. Loudly. Adverb. How loudly? Quite. Adverb. What kind of dog? Old. Adjective. The article adjective. Number 2. A white shark swam very quickly away. What swam very quickly away? Shark. Subject noun. What's being said about shark? Shark swam. Verb. Swam how? Quickly. Adverb. Swam where? Away. Adverb. How quickly? Very. Adverb. What kind of shark? White. Adjective. The a article adjective. Notice how I labeled very. I went to the adverb. To find an adverb, go, ask, get. Where do I go? To a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. That's where I went. I went to that adverb and I asked how. That's how I came up with very as an adverb. Number 3. Spirited racehorse ran swiftly today. What ran swiftly today? Racehorse, subject noun. What's being said about racehorse? Racehorse ran, verb. Ran how? Swiftly, adverb. Raced when? Today, adverb. What kind of racehorse? Spirited, adjective. The article adjective. Now you notice these markings over here, boys and girls. We've got to put our pattern in. You see, we got patterns in this curriculum. So we're going to do this. You ready? It's a subject noun and a verb. And we're going to say pattern 1 and check. What are we checking for? We're checking for prepositional phrases, which we haven't learned yet. And then we say period. That's the end mark. Right here, we're going to say exclamation point, and we're going to say period here. We're identifying our end mark, period, and then we're identifying the kind of sentence we got or we have. or we're reading. Period, statement, declarative sentence. Exclamation point, strong feeling, exclamatory sentence. Period, statement, declarative sentence. Okay? So that S and verb, pattern 1 check goes in all 3 of those lines. And your book has bigger, more space than mine. So do it. Moving on to the next lesson 3. The newborn baby cried rather weakly. What? Cried rather weakly? Baby. Subject noun. What's being said about baby? Baby cried. Verb. Cried how? Weakly. Adverb. How weakly? Rather. Adverb. What kind of baby? Newborn. Adjective. The article adjective. Let's write our pattern over here. Subject, noun, verb, pattern, 1, check. Check for prepositional phrases. There are none. Period. And I'm going to put a circle around our end mark. Statement, declarative sentence. Number 2. The 2 girls sang so sweetly today. Who sang so sweetly today? Girls. Subject, noun. What's being said about girls? Girls sang, verb. Sang how sweetly, adverb. Sang when today, adverb. How sweetly so, adverb. How many girls? 2, adjective. The article adjective. Subject, noun, verb, pattern 1. Check for prepositional phrases. Period, statement, declarative. Those of you who know that was from My Fair Lady with Henry Higgins, and I could have danced all night. Okay. Number 3. Looks like I'm in the way here. Number 3. Number 3 reminds me of my youngest son when he was training to be a pilot. It was very scary flying that plane by himself. He was quite inexperienced, but praise God he landed safely. His very words. The inexperienced pilot landed safely. Who landed safely? Pilot. Subject, noun. What is being said about pilot? Pilot landed. Verb. Landed how? Safely. Adverb. What kind of pilot? Inexperienced. Adjective. The article adjective. Subject, noun, verb, pattern 1, check. Check for prepositional phrases. There are none. Period. Statement, declarative sentence. Those end for lesson 3. Hope that was helpful. Let's move on to chapter 4.